Do 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 do. Boom, it's Rob's Arcade, where the games get played and the games get saved, so they get played on another day here in Rob's Arcade. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rob's Arcade. I'm your host, as always, Mr. Rob French, hanging out with you guys here on my little Monday segment, the Monday Show, where I hang out with you guys in this virtual world. Um, you want to go inside now? Okay. We'll go inside. Get inside. Get in there. Get inside. All right. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Dog being a little pain in the butt. Um, so yeah, this is my Monday segment where I just kind of hang out with you guys and talk about the weekend and all that jazz. It's actually going to do like a live action Monday show, but I'm just not feeling pretty this week. This week, yeah, this Monday morning, just not feeling it. So, going to stick with the traditional virtual Rob here, which it's pretty close. I mean, it's a little exaggerated to the real me, but not by much, huh? Hand tats. The arm tats are a little extreme. The neck tats for real. I did shave. Makes me look a little bit younger. Anyway, so yeah, Monday show, just kind of hang out with you guys, talk about the weekend. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Hopefully some of you guys had such a great weekend that maybe you got a lot done. Had such a great weekend, you got a lot of running around, a lot of errands done. Maybe even got like a 3-hour nap in at some point. That would have been great. Hope you guys got like a nice long summer nap. Who knows? Maybe some of you guys out there had such a great weekend you couldn't even find the time to help out a cousin for 1 hour out of your amazing, amazing, grand old weekend. My weekend was pretty cool. I had a good one myself. Let's start with Friday, I guess. Let's just wind it back to Friday evening. There was a great concert on Fortnite this weekend. Kicked off at Friday at 6 o'clock. Now, I'm not a huge Ariana Grande fan, but I gotta admit, it was a very, very, very cool concert, and stuff that I would wish Fortnite would take, more advantage of. A friend of mine, Anthony, and I were talking about it this past weekend, and it's such a great platform. Like, I feel like this here is a wonderful world and environment to interact with your friends. Kind of do whatever you want. And if Fortnite could kind of get out of just the shoot 'em up, bang bang aspect of it and provide a world where you and your friends could just kind of hang out and do these crazy things, like just grab a boat and try stunts or helicopters and just try different things inside that Fortnite universe, I think it would really open itself up. I feel like GTA is in a position with the violence, the prostitution, the drugs. I mean, let's face it, it's basically a criminal case in a video game that you just keep adding to. So that doesn't really lend itself to things like DC and Marvel and Star Wars. Marvel's Avengers, I could see them possibly doing something like this where, it'd be up to you as the Avengers to stop the drug lords of GTA taking over the city, which would be a cool crossover. But like I said, with all the prostitution, drugs, and all that, I just don't feel like Star Wars, Disney, any of those things are really going to lend themselves to this world. But outside of Fortnite's concerts and some of their events they have every now and again, there's really not much to it other than that shoot 'em up, bang bang aspect. But it would be really neat to see them do more social interactions with like concerts and events and things like that, where you're not, like I said, just necessarily um, held into that. Okay, we have to get into a lobby and shoot each other. why can't we just like run around and do um, paintball? Like would be I think a good transition for something like that where you would have the option of actually shooting each other, um, even friendly fire without actually killing one another, and just kind of be able to run around and check out the environments and the maps and stuff like that. But the concert was amazing. I think it was one of the better ones I've seen since probably the Travis Scott concert that they did, and I haven't really been on for it a whole lot, but that was a really fun concert, and she puts on a good show in general. So I knew that was going to be a lot of fun. My friend Buck and I, we hopped in for a little bit, and had a really good time. And I think it was better than either one of us was expecting it to be. So that was a lot of fun. Even not I think Buck might be a huge Ariana Grande fan. I'm not sure, but I know I'm not. Um, I'm not now. But then also I guess Friday, what was it? Suicide Squad dropped on HBO Max, so definitely recommend checking that out. If anything, you kind of see what James Gunn did with Marvel and the Guardians, just taking these obscure, weird characters that nobody really knows anything about, and turning it into like a really great movie. He's really funny. He's a great comedic writer, but he puts a lot of heart into his films. So definitely recommend getting HBO Max and checking that out. I just recommend getting HBO Max in general. That's just a great streaming service. A lot of them out there, you're kind of like, well, I don't know. They have some movies, they have some all the series on HBO are amazing. My cousin's always watching a show on HBO, and of course they got some great movies on there. A lot of fun, nostalgic films. I just watched The Last Action Hero with Arnold Schwarzenegger the other day, and that was God, such an awful movie, but just so fun to sit back and watch. Something from the '90s and just kind of like relive that classic era of film. Such a great time, like that '92 to like '96, '97 era of film. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Uh, but yeah, definitely recommend getting HBO Max. Really good. There's got like a lot of good DC stuff on there. Speaking of DC and Marvel, get get Disney Plus for your Marvel viewing, and get the HBO for your DC, and you'll be set. You'll be set, guys. That's all you need. Um, Saturday was a lot of fun. The wife went out, so the dog and I just kind of hung out, watched movies all day. HBO Max, and then say it again, get HBO Max, and then she actually hit me up, and her and my aunt, or my wife and her aunt Marlene were getting their nails done, and then they came and picked me up. We were supposed to go to like a pier thing or like a boardwalk situation type deal, but instead the weather looked kind of gloomy. But anyway, instead we just kind of hung out at Marlene's, had a great time. Just always good hanging out at her place. Her and her friend Bobby, and just a good time. Hanging by the pool, brought the dog, got all gnarly. Um, Came home, munched on some Taco Bell. That's always a good way to end the night, right? And then yesterday was a lot of fun. Yesterday, Sunday, my friend and I met up at Disney Springs. Speaking of Fortnite, I had some cool Batman comics for him, and we got some lunch, and did a little shopping. Got some cool stuff from the Star Wars Depot. Some neat little flair from my droid bag. A couple of Disney pins, and then I headed home. My wife was actually out again with Marlene and her son. Hit up a brewery, and she got back shortly after I did. But yeah, I had the place to myself for a little bit when I got home last night. Just kind of hung out. Tried one of those like frozen daiquiri things, and I was just trying to like drink it in the pouch, and that did not work out very well. I thought, hey, I don't need a cup, right? I can just put a straw in this. It's kind of like a almost like a, what is it called? The little pouch drink, the Capri Suns, right? Something like a Capri Sun, sort of, but like a slushy one. And I was like, let it sit out for a second, get all nice and thaw, and I like smushed it up real good and everything, and it just did not work in the pouch. Like you didn't get any of the ice and the slush. It just like it was straight. I was just drinking straight alcohol, which I guess is that's one way to do. That's one way to get there. Oh wow, I just saw a fish jump out of the pond. That was amazing. Um, Go check my bacon real quick. But I was like trying to, I guess, outthink the situation. Oh wow, this bacon cooked really good and quick this morning. Sometimes it takes forever for the bacon to cook, but this cooked really quick and fast. I like it. I like it. All right. For those of you who don't know, I like to cook my bacon in the oven because of that saying. Why do we cook bacon but bake cookies? A little play on words, but it's true. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start baking my bacon. Uh, but yeah, I tried to, like I said, outthink the situation with the daiquiri pouch thing. It was good. Excuse me, I'm drinking some coffee. Gotta have my coffee. But something else I like to do with you guys on Monday is kind of like come up with a topic, kind of talk about for a little bit. And the whole daiquiri thing leads me to my topic, outthinking the situation. How often we try to do that, right? Only to be basically shut down. Sometimes you just can't outthink the situation. It is what it is. It's basically what the situation is, what it is, and as profound as that might sound, uh, it was something I ran into a couple weekends ago, going to Disney Springs once again. Love hanging out there with some family and stuff. Carrie-Ann's aunt and her son's girlfriend, and we're on the parking deck, and people are like following other people, trying to get a spot on the whatever level. And it's funny to me because it's listed, like what levels have what parking available. So you really don't need to like hunt people and like, oh, are they leaving, or are they leaving? It's just kind of one of those things like, you follow the line of cars until you come to an empty spot, and you pull into that empty spot, and you just like keep the traffic going. But traffic so often would get held up, and it was strictly because people are trying to, like I said, outthink the um, the food and or the food the parking situation. Like you're trying to get some food, you're trying to go shopping, you're trying to you know um, just get out of your car, and you can't because people are, like I said, taking forever, trying to like I said, outthink the situation with parking. And it's just like a situation you can't really outthink. Like just go and find the spot and keep it going. um, but it happens so often in traffic, in grocery stores, and just anywhere and everywhere you go. You always run into people who try to simply outthink the situation. And so that's something I keep coming across. And I was just like the other day, just actually snapping my cousin Holden. I'm like, talking about people who, in situations where it's like, again, like people are just trying to like outthink the scenario. It's like, what are you, and the highway traffic, oh my gosh, here it happens all the time where, people are like trying to cut around other people on exits, and um, oh, let me get around this RV by driving off the road, and just only to wind up like right behind the RV, but or excuse me, not right behind the RV, but now like three cars behind the RV because they try to outthink the situation, and now they're stuck trying to merge back into traffic or something ridiculous. And so that's today's topics. I'm hoping to get, some comments down below and some situations to where you've come into contact with people, or maybe even yourself. You maybe have found yourself um, doing something like I yesterday. It's like, I'm not going to use a cup. I don't need to use a cup. I can outthink this fruit pouch, and it just did not work in my favor. So um, please, guys, let me know some stories, share some stuff. Don't be afraid to type down there in the comment section. I know I say this every week, um, but I can actually let me go ahead and look really quick. Actually, I can do this while I'm talking to you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and look at my YouTube here, and let's just see. Let's go ahead and turn it down so we don't have any background. Let's go look at some of my latest videos, and let's just see, like, 0 likes, no comments. That's what I was thinking. Let's check some of these. No likes, no comments. Yeah, so you guys, you gotta like, and I put this in all of my descriptions. Let's go back a little bit. Yeah, no likes, no nothing. So guys, it's really simple. Whatever device you're using to watch this video, I'm gonna break it down for you guys. It's real easy. All you have to do is either use your mouse, or if you're like on a computer, or maybe you have like a laptop, and you can just use your finger, your little scrolly thing. Perhaps you're on a tablet or your cell phone. That's even easier because probably touch screen. And you can just use that finger. And what you're going to do is you're going to click the like button on the video. It's so simple, right? That a monkey could do it. I've seen them do it. So please hit the like buttons, leave me some comments, and then it would be really cool if you could share the video too, because then that's how I get more subscribers. I think I've mentioned this in other videos, but I don't think it quite, like, you guys are listening to me. You're sitting there at work, you're listening to these videos, maybe you're laying in bed with your eyes closed, just listening to my voice as you fall asleep at night. Whatever you're doing, let me know you're out there. Hit the like button. See, you still didn't hit it. I'm going to hit it real quick. I'm going to wait for a second. Just go ahead and hit it. We'll stare at this lamp for a few minutes. If you want to look at something other than the lamp, do me a favor, hit that like button. I want to see, for as many views as I have, and sometimes I only have like 6 views, 5 views, maybe 2 views on the video, I want to see just as many likes. That's the goal of this game. Alright, so going forward, we talked about the weekend. We're going forward with a week. I'm at the grocery store in a little while. I try not to outthink that whole situation. Just gonna go in and get what I need to get. It's funny, my wife, like I said, she was actually going to order some groceries. Just kind of hang out at the house while I hung out with my buddy at Disney Springs, and order some food from Publix, and she didn't. But then she's like out with my aunt and, like I said, her cousin, and thinking like, wait a minute, did I? Is there food sitting at the house right now just waiting on me? I hope not. So much for the ice cream. I don't think she ordered any ice cream. But yeah, going forward, we're going to have to hit the grocery store, get a few things done around here. It's going to be a pretty, I think, mellow Monday. Just kind of recover from this weekend. It was a long one yesterday. It took about 7 hours out of my day just going to Disney Springs, which is kind of insane when you think about it. That's one of those things you have to kind of like weigh. It's really, I think I've made a point where it's an interesting feeling the first time we went to Epcot and we were getting ready at our house as opposed to in the room at the resort, which, you're kind of like, you have your bags and stuff. You're just kind of like waiting for your wife to get ready, and you just kind of wake up first thing in the morning, you go. There's no real responsibilities outside of just going to the parks, right? There's no like, oh, let me get this done. Getting ready at the house is different. Like, you kind of like read a book while you wait, comic book or something, or play some video games, hop on GTA real quick while you kind of wait for your wife to take a shower and get ready, and then you just You throw your clothes on, you have all your stuff here, you kind of choose, whatever you want to wear, it's here. Um, and that was very interesting and very, um, like, kind of like one of those moments where you're kind of like, oh, right, yeah, we live in Florida now. Like, this is it. It's like very reaffirming. Excuse me there. And it's really neat, but it's one of those things where you kind of have to like weigh. It's like it's almost sometimes you feel like it's better to like just vacation and do these things because especially if you're staying on property, going to um, these places takes like 10 minutes. You hop on the bus or whatever kind of transport they have, Skyliners and all these different things. A friend of mine who lives like just like one exit before, it's like 6 miles. Should take him like 10, 15 minutes to get to the resort. It can take them like 30, 45 minutes sometimes just because of traffic, and it's just insane. Anyone who lives off of property, how long it can take to get to these places. And so, even though it's like only like an hour away, um, the time just varies due to accidents. I mean, there's like 2 or 3 accidents yesterday. Again, people just trying to outthink the situation on the highway and getting into accidents and stuff like that. Um, it took like closer to 2 hours, and it was interesting just to watch the time on the GPS fluctuate to like an hour. It's like, oh wow, this is cool. And it started off like an hour and 45 minutes, and then it just went down to like an hour and 8 minutes or something crazy. And I was like, that's insane. I was like, wow, that's awesome. And we're just rolling right along, and it was like that last 20 minutes of the ride, it just went on forever. Um, and then after my buddy had to get his kids home and stuff like that, get them showered and ready for naps and what have you. I kind of walked around just myself, did a little shopping, um, and I was like, oh, it's early. It's only like 3 something, and then next thing you know, I'm leaving, and it's like closer to 5, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to get out of here. And then again, like an hour drive home, but it took more like an hour 45, maybe hour and a half, something closer to that. But it's just amazing. Like you think about like it's one of those things. If you were on the property, it's like, oh, let's go to Disney Springs for a little while. You could literally get there and back uh, in the amount of time it would take some people just to get from the exit to Disney Springs with all the traffic and stuff like that. So it's insane to think about the benefits of actually like being on property as opposed to living here, but still it's like we're so close but still so far away. It's like that saying rings so true. But we talked about that yesterday too. The traffic here is just something that I don't think either of us will ever get used to or ever really like. I became very aware of that when I first moved, and I'm looking at things on my GPS on my phone, like, my wife's like, can you run to Target? I'm like, sure, yeah, no problem. I look on my phone, it's like, oh, wow, it's like less than 2 miles away. This is amazing. And then it's like 20 minutes later, you're finding a parking space, and it's like, why did it take me so long to get here? But that's just how Florida traffic is. It's very, especially some of these newer areas like Brandon and some like, Orlando's just got, tourist traffic in general, which is why I was glad we didn't land in Orlando, even though we'd be like super close. But just having to deal with all the traffic all the time would be insane. Um, but yeah, it's just very different. It's in Richmond. Something's like 2 miles away. It literally takes 2 minutes. Like however many miles away that thing is, that's how many minutes it can take. I feel like here you have to kind of like times it by 10, just because the lights are a lot longer too. That's something I've noticed. You can basically like I've seen shows, and it's a lot of things like you see on TV shows. It's so funny. It's like you see on TV shows like these long lights and these scenes and shows where people just like, oh, I'm at that light. Like there was like one on Weeds. What the heck was that? Um, where the character gets frustrated because like, oh shoot, I'm at this light. It's like, well, I'm gonna be here forever, and it becomes a very like um, it's R4 telling me it's time to wrap up. It's a very big scene at the end of the show, and I've seen other movies and stuff like that where it's like, oh, I hit this light, I'm going to be here forever. And I never really related to that in Richmond. Like the lights are pretty decent. In fact, a lot of them, you know, if there's like no traffic and you pull up, it actually changes for you. That doesn't really happen here. Like you just have to like sit and wait a lot of times, and they can be very, very long lights. Uh, that was a great story, wasn't it, guys? Wow. Anyway, I'm going to end it with that amazing story on the long lights here in Florida. Uh, but I'm glad I'm here. Something else my friend and I talked about yesterday. Glad I'm able to still do this with you guys and hang out and talk. And like we said before, Rob's Arcade is not a place. It is a people. So people, please hit that like button. Please comment down below. Let me know how your weekend was. Let me know what you think about outthinking the situation. Go ahead, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. If you are a subscriber, share. Let me get some more subscribers, you guys. It's that simple. And thank you so much for hanging out. Don't forget, until next time, don't spend that quarter anywhere else. Thanks for hanging out in Rob's Arcade, guys. Later.